How about the crowd at Exhibition Park in Canberra? It's a sea of sombreros as we get set now for the Liqui Moly Burnout Masters at Summernats 29, and we're going to kick it off for the local boy.
Adrian Cuthbertson in Skidmore. He's been taking this Sigma all over the country, doing great things. Continued it here with two fantastic 360s, taking it right down into the bottom corner straight away.
Big Smoke following off the back of a very aggressive tip-in. Fireys keeping a close eye on it. Don't they do a great job? Hopefully we won't need him too much today inside the top 10, and we have lost Adrian.
Engulfed himself in the smoke already. It's going to be hard for the judges to see what's going on. They have to refer to their other senses, listening and feeling for where the car is to be able to work out what the driver's doing.
Smoke scores, which do play a big part in it, will be good, but those tyres are off, and that means even more points. Fantastic first skid to kick off the top 10.
Yeah, he's got the tyres off really quickly. This is such an abrasive pad, the Summernats pad.
But was it too quickly? If the skid doesn't last a full minute, you can lose some points, and as Adrian pulls up to celebrate in front of his home fans, with 121.5 for Skidmore, this might be a good chance to touch on what the judges are looking for.
Yeah, I'd say he's lost a few points there for not going the full 60 seconds. The way the judges are scoring this is they want to see at least 1 minute from each driver to give them all a level playing field to be able to score them on. Further to that, they're being scored on instant smoke, constant smoke, volume of smoke, driving skill, and of course you've got to pop the tyres.
Bonus points for driving it off the burnout pad at the end of the burnout. One of two Queenslanders in the field. Here comes the beautiful HG Ute with Warren Gersekowski at the wheel. Big tip in, and
it's just gone out.
He stops.
It was a great tip in, but what's happened?
Now, something's clearly broken. He's got his daughter Courtney sitting in the passenger seat, and it's done.
Yeah,
red flag is out.
What a disappointment for Warren Gersekowski. He's come all this way from Queensland.
Wonder if something broke in the left rear. Let's see if we can hear any clue as to what happened. Riding on board as he tips it in.
Something's broken in the drivetrain. I think a tail shaft or a gearbox. The engine's still running. He's just not getting the tyres turning.
Oh man, that was seriously aggressive.
I reckon that's. Oh, you can see something spraying out the side there. What a shame for Warren Gersekowski.
And it brings up our runner-up from last year. One of the favourites, the only man to have qualified in the top 10 for the last 4 years straight. Here comes Fear. Fred Watson at the wheel.
He's had his eye on the prize for 12 months, Fred. Missed out on the top prize last year by just 1 or 2 points. He's been planning this for 12 months to get back here and have a real crack at the title here at Summernats Masters.
He won the first ever Red Summernats. He won up in Cairns, he's won back home, and oh my goodness me, look at the flames!
Huge fire from Fred Watson.
Oh no, he's burning down the Liqui Moly power pit. He's still on the loud pedal. The Fireys are trying to get in there to stop him. It's an inferno, a proper inferno, look at it.
This is going to have a massive negative effect on Fred's scores, unfortunately. When the tyres are on fire, they're not making smoke, and if they're not making smoke, he is not getting any scores.
Only 88.5, the judges might not like it, but the fans certainly do. Listen to Canberra, it is absolutely going off, and he's still revving them up.
He's pretty excited, Fred, but he'll be heartbroken inside. He has been planning it for a long time to come back and really set this place alight, but unfortunately he's done it literally.
He has opened up the gates to hell with this fire. It is massive.
That is huge, absolutely huge.
One of, if not the biggest fire we've ever seen at Summernats. Burn the entire pad down. That was a proper bushfire. Wow, that is a special shot. Looks like a flamethrower at the back of it. Brand new engine combination, and unfortunately hasn't worked. Look at the rear wing.
Yeah, I reckon that rear wing and that bumper is going to make a pretty good shed ornament in somebody's man cave.
That is incredible. Never seen anything like that in any other form of motorsport in my life. Pieces of burning molten rubber just absolutely jettisoned around that burnout pad. From up top. Oh.
You can see how these fires continue to burn once they've started. The exhaust is pumping fuel straight into the ignition source, and it's just like a flamethrower.
Fireys were on it as soon as they could, as soon as it was safe. The reaction from Fred was a classic. The only West Aussie in the top 10.
And if you take a look at the top right-hand side of Fred's windscreen, you'll see the See Me Fry number plate. Sadly, the burnout community recently lost one of its own. Fred, along with other drivers, have elected to compete with the See Me Fry number plates in recognition of Nathan Allen, one of the pioneers of the blown LS engine combo. Nathan was remembered this weekend at Summernats.
Welcome back to Summernats 29, Liquid Molly Burnout Masters is where it's at. And it's time for the son of a gun. In Sicko, this is Jake Myers.
Got the new paint scheme on the Mustang, looking absolutely fantastic. Listen to the revs. That's got to be up around or maybe over 9,000 RPM. Slow, controlled tip into the donut pad. Big smoke scores, instant, constant volume right up the pointy end.
That engine is revving hard and he is working hard inside the cockpit. Right hand down. Moving that car around, important for his car control scores to keep that car moving around the pad.
So much smoke though, he really can't see himself outside of this circle of smoke.
We can't see him either, appears for a moment with that 66 coupe. Fantastic car. Yes, this is the son of Gary Myers. He beat his own dad back in 2014, his first and only appearance in the Masters top 10, and it looks like we've got a couple of dead tyres in the back of that Mustang.
Yeah, great skid by Jake. Huge scores in instant smoke, constant smoke, and volume of smoke. Not quite right up there in the driving skill category because he boxed himself in with so much smoke, but you can see he's got a total of 145.
So we do have a new leader. He had his dad riding shotgun, and that was a very impressive skid from the youngest competitor we have here in the Masters, just 20 years of age. Great wheel work.
Yeah, it was a good tip in, and then he's made so much smoke for himself. Got some pretty serious diff gears in there and big revs. That was up over 9,000 for sure. You can see it's skating across the surface nicely, but after that he was a little bit slow, a little bit subdued, and that's probably cost him a couple of points, which could have seen him right at the pointy end.
The Liquid Molly Power Pit has been lined with fans absolutely all weekend long. No doubt about it, the Burnout's the favourite part of the weekend for so many fans. Okay, Blown, a dark horse making his second straight appearance inside the top 10.
Yeah, this is Andrew Poole, one of the few blokes that's still running carburetors. Most drivers these days go to the injection setup. So let's see what Popeye can put on for us.
This is a VB Holden Commodore. Plenty of smoke, instant smoke. That's a good start.
It's not a bad start. You can see he hasn't got the revs right up there like the other guys have. I think he might be playing to the 60-second rule, just trying to keep the tyre speed down a little bit to ensure that he's going to get through the 60 seconds as his minimum requirement. So you can hear the revs, they're not right up there like some of the other guys we've seen.
Oh, that was close. Very close to the wall. You're not allowed to hit the walls, but sometimes you can just get right up next to them.
Absolutely fantastic use of the pad. You've seen he's come down, he's done his tip-in, donut, gone down to the end, done another donut down there, come back into the middle and gone up to the start line again. This is incredible use of the pad.
Oh, and reappears out of his own smoke and finds a lot of free real estate and uses it. Great work.
This is going to score very highly in the driving skill category. Smoke scores not quite right up to the 10s, but they'll be very close. He's got the tyres off. I think he's going to be pretty happy with this, Popeye.
Wow, a surprise from one of the Queenslanders here. Blown goes to the top, new clubhouse leader, and that was all about the car control.
Yeah, deservedly so. Straight to the lead with 153. I mentioned it earlier, he used every single part of the pad that he possibly could. That's going to score, what obviously did score very highly with the judges in the driving skill category.
Actually finished 4th last year, earned himself a spot on that final 33 to compete at the Masters. His qualifying skid on Saturday was good, got through to the top 10 and then delivered in spades with a nicely controlled skid, and importantly went over that 1 minute barrier, which quite a few drivers have failed to do so far today.
Yeah, great skid by Andrew Poole. Scored really well in the driving skill, smoke scores as well, and it was reflected in his total score.
Here's a cool story, and another crowd favourite. This is Tough Street, qualified via the wildcards on Thursday. So this is already his 3rd burnout this weekend. Can he get the job done?
It is a great story, and what a tip in. High speed, comes straight down the bottom end. Judges will be looking for that stuff. They want to see excitement. They want to see a little bit of bravery out on the burnout pad. Phil's certainly showing that at the moment.
That supercharger towering out of that bonnet. He's very close to the walls, trying to almost copy what we saw from Iplane and using a lot of the burnout pad.
Oh, this is fantastic driving. It's at high speed. Those concrete walls don't move for anyone. Massive smoke scores, massive revs, and he's throwing it around like he stole this car.
Back up the exit pad again. Oh, that was close to the wall. Missed the top 10 a couple years ago. Oh no, he's hit the wall!
He's tagged the wall!
He got the wall there, and that's going to cost him for
Oh,
sure.
that is heartbreak for Phil.
The bumper's hanging off it. He was right at the end zone, and he drops the football within sight of getting the win.
He had 10 seconds to go. That would have been one of the best, if not the best, burnouts we've ever seen in the history of the Summernats Masters.
How much will it cost him? He finishes the burnout off. It was impressive, very impressive.
Yeah, there you go.
But unfortunately, hitting the wall has cost him.
That would have been the one to beat. I have no doubt about it. That would have been the one to beat.
Well, it started off so strong. I was going to say he missed the top 10 here in 2011 by one spot. Finally, he breaks through to do a skid on Sunday, and he just seems to be reveling in it.
Oh, he did. Look, I mean, look at the speed there. He's coming in at 50, 60, 70 kilometres an hour, and it's not dropping an ounce of smoke. That is ridiculously hard to do, and very, very game as well, mind you. These walls, look at those things. They're 12 inches thick.
Oh,
and yeah, that didn't move, and he hit that hard.
It was a good nudge, all right. Such a beautiful finish on that car. He's actually been helping the boys from PPG prepare cars for the Maguire's Pavilion here this weekend, so presentation's key thing for him. There it is.
So he would lose 10 points from each judge from that shunt. So that would have had him up around 157.5 points.
And then there was the reigning champ out of Portland in New South Wales in this absolute monster truck. This is blown Lux, and if you've never seen this thing before, check this out.
This thing is just a pure smoke machine. Got the exhaust set up so it just blows the smoke up into the crowd. Monstrous amounts of smoke. His instant, constant and volume smoke scores are usually 9s, 9.5s every day of the week. And this is no exception. Lost him already.
Bought this car as a second-year apprentice. Did its first ever burnout with a 4-cylinder in it. And goodness me, how it's just continued to grow in every meaning of the word.
It's making some serious horsepower. 540 cubic inch, big block Chev blown injected. That's turning 31, 33-inch mud diggers on the back of this thing. That's why it makes so much smoke.
He actually knocks four-wheel drive tyres off it. It is like nothing else we have going around the burnout circuit in this country. Where is he?
We can't see him. The judges will know what's going on. They'll be able to hear where he is and see what he's doing.
He could be on track here to back up last year's championship.
Big smoke scores. Just needs to keep moving around the pad so he can pick up as much score in the driving skill category.
Passenger loving every minute of it. As the Hilux swings around once more. It's gone past the magic minute barrier.
It has. Those big tyres certainly helping get past the 60 seconds.
Left hand down. Brett Battersby works it through the middle of the pad. Right rear's gone. It's in a million pieces around the liquid moly power pad.
Such amazing horsepower. Those butterflies are barely even cracked and he's turning those massive tyres. I think he's just about done. This is going to score fairly well.
Suicide doors open. Passenger nearly slips over trying to celebrate. Crowd erupts. But the score is just shy of what we saw from Iblown.
Yeah, just. And it would have been in that driving skill category. He would have had Iblown covered in the smoke categories. You can see there's just massive amounts of instant smoke and the volume. Constant was fairly good all the way through it. But just that driving skill, the drivability of that big truck is just not there in comparison to some of the cars that are a bit lower to the ground.
What a cool angle that is from where it all started, but up above. As the sombreros get covered in smoke and he is just a dot down there in the middle. These fans, They sure love their burnouts. They've been treated to more than just the 33 in the Burnout Masters. Here this weekend, we also have nearly 200 cars competing in the Summernats Burnout Championship. 3 tickets up for grabs for next year's Burnout Masters, and it was taken out by Darren Grmusa. What a winning skid this was, and he stamped his ticket to Summernats 30. Welcome back to Exhibition Park in Canberra. We're checking out Summernats 29. Big crowd of all ages here for the Liquid Moly Burnout Masters, the jewel in the crown of this whole weekend. If you can win this championship, you're probably the best in the world.
No question about that. These are the best burnout cars in the world. And this guy is one of the best few in the world. There's no doubting that whatsoever. Steve Loader in UC Smoke. Big block, blown injected Chevy up the front of this HT Premier. Beautiful car it is.
Trying to qualify reload into the Masters, couldn't quite get the double ticket, so he's going to stick to what he knows with UC Smoke, and I'm seeing plenty of it right now.
Good start from Steve, nice high-speed tip-in. Good levels of smoke, a little bit of flamage out the back, but it looks like it's gone away.
Geez, that fire would want to stay away right now because this is a good skid. If the fire gets worse, the fireys will jump in there and call a quit to it.
Instant smoke was great, as we saw. Constant smoke has been good all the way through. The volume of smoke is huge.
Oh.
Back up to the start line. Good driving.
Oh, it didn't quite hit the wall. I think that was just the smoke.
Just the exhaust blowing the sign around. And he's got the tyres off already.
Oh, it's quick.
That's pretty quick. I think that's going to cost him not getting to the 60-second mark. Unfortunate for Steve, because it was such a tough skid.
It was big, all right. Driving it around, maybe trying to fool the judges that it's going for longer than a minute.
That's just party time. He's come all the way up here.
Oh man, not a bad score, but not quite there. Crowd goes up. We have 2 Victorians that have made it through to the final 10 here today. We'll see Grmusa soon, but it's right on board with this skid for what was a powerful tip-in.
Yeah, nice tip-in. He's got it in nice and early, and you can see he's come around and done a genuine 360. He had an opening to go back down to the finish line, but chose to stay in the middle of the pad again. That might have cost him a point or two on his driver's skill as well. But yeah, just getting those tyres off in 45 seconds or so, that's what's cost him one of the biggest scores of the day. He's still happy though, hands in the air.
This is a beast. There's no other word for it. And the man driving it has been favoured to win this whole competition by some of the biggest names in burnouts. He qualified by the wildcards on Thursday with a new engine and blower combination. Here comes one of the best.
Believe it or not, this bloke, Pete Grmusa, 10 years ago, Summernats 19 and 20, he won the championship 2 years in a row, so he knows what to do. Look at this, look at the smoke, he's engulfed the joint. 700 plus cubic inches of blown injected Ford. Massive smoke scores, great driving as well. This is going to be right up there. He's just got to keep the tyres on for at least 60 seconds.
The passenger looks like he's watching a game of tennis, trying to figure out where the walls are. At risk, lighting up the Liquid Moly power pit. He's trying to give Pete a little bit of advice to know where the walls are. That's actually handy. Oh, he's not moving this car around quite enough.
A little bit static. That might lose a point or two in the driving skill. But the tyres are gone already as well.
Oh!
Big fire too.
Oh,
huge
goodness.
fire.
Well, new engine combo, and I hope that's not hurt because it's only in its 3rd show.
It's still running. It's still running. He's pumped, Pete Grmusa. Look at him. He doesn't care. He's only gone for 40 or 50 seconds.
Wow. Up there with the Burnout faithful. Those guys have been standing there for all 4 days of Summernats, inhaling every last wisp of smoke. Look at this thing chew through its tyres.
This is amazing. Instant, constant and volume of smoke, I have no doubt, would have been the highest scores on the judges' sheets for today. Driving skill, not quite at the highest end, because again, he engulfed himself in so much smoke, he didn't have the visibility that he really needed to drive the whole pad. Oh. That huge fire at the end, maybe a transmission line let go or a fuel line or something. A lot of liquid is burning to make that much flame.
But thankfully the motor kept running, gave him a chance to drive the car away. And as a result, his points were okay in the end, but not up there for a win. I might mention the drivers don't actually know the scores, so you don't know what you have to beat. As we enter now with the last driver, the New South Welshman in hold on, Ryan Pearson.
Here he is, Rhino. Got the carbies on top of the blower as well. One of only 3 cars in the top 10 to run carbies. Nice, slow, steady approach into the pad. Big smoke.
Oh, that was beautiful. Just parked it in the corner and drove away.
Great revs, great constant revs, and that typically equals great constant smoke.
Second at the Red Summernats, third at the Ultimate Burnout Challenge, so had 2 chances there to qualify into the Burnout Masters, but this is his first appearance on Sunday. First chance to impress in the top 10. Old school steering wheel, and he is working it.
He is having to work pretty hard. This is a very stout skid. Instant, constant volume of smoke has been great. His driving control has been steady without being huge, but this should score okay.
Also a little bit of slick stuff down there as well from where Grmusa was. Right there, as a matter of fact, so just needs to be careful. Whoops, as he lights up a piece of rubber. And some more. Actually, pretty big flames now at the back of Hold On. Red flags are out. It's a good skid from Ryan Pearson. He'll enjoy that.
He will be pretty pumped. He's come a long way. There he is. Pumping up this huge Summernats crowd. And that's the token move these days, to get up on the fence and wind the crowd up. You can see that supercharger belt working overtime in that blown small block Chev.
What an amazing sport it is when you slow it down. Smoke coming out of the door seals. Little places that you'd never even think getting engulfed.
The intricacies of burnouts are just absolutely phenomenal. And these great shots really give us a breakdown of what makes up an amazing burnout. And you can see the left rear quarter, he's possibly tagged the wall there, which would have had an effect on his scores.
So we have a sneaking suspicion as to what the scores are, but the drivers have absolutely no idea. Neither does the crowd. And it's a big crowd here, so let's cross down to Kerry Digney for the official announcement.
Third place. Quite mate. 60 seconds. The man what a skid. Take hold! Second place. Battersby! Get out of yourself, stop. Get out of yourself. Edwin. And this is you. Little Lord. Master 10. Andrew Cole! Alright. Successful. Wow. That's a huge result. It is the business instructor.
Andrew Paul takes 15 grand out of the 30 grand prize pool and also gets his hands on the John Peterson Trophy. Travel down from North Queensland. Congratulations.